George Wallace?
Get the mic.
Yeah? All right.
You, George.
Mic on, mic on, mic on, mic on. What is up with all these East Coast people this year? Man, you guys are... George Wallace.
George Wallace. Yeah. Wallace, that guy's up again. There he is.
Somebody went to the bathroom. Let's go. Let's go, right?
Yeah.
You hear me back there? Yeah. Thank you. Our food in your hands. How can a man walk through a supermarket anywhere in America without feeling the imprint of your hands on everything he touches? Hands strung in the dawn of cinch bug nematodes, smell of dung. Plastic buckets, bandanas, and short-handled tools. Hands which dream of bean fields, straw beds and barbed wire, corn silk and buttermilk. The watery music which leaps like fish out of blue mestizo night, like your family's laughter and into day. You migrate through South Carolina like drift of fog. You harvest tomatoes in Florida. You migrate through Delaware, Maryland, Connecticut, and Maine. You harvest potatoes, apples, soybeans, peas, beets, spinach, beets. You tend to broilers, the heifers, the hens, the sows. You harvest wild rice. You pick avocados and grapes. You plant white tufts of cloud into the hair of your children like seeds in heaven. Oh, lettuce, oh, bold Salinas Valley, oh, crates of California. Plums, apricots, Oregon cherries in plastic bags. In low country and on the high mountain tops, cucumbers, string beans, Brussels sprouts, walnuts, peaches and almonds. Oysters in their shells, broadcast spreaders, sprinkler pipes and burlap sacks. How can any man, woman, or child in Colorado, Alabama, Arkansas, Missouri, Louisiana, Illinois, any man, woman, or child in Cochise County, Arizona, or New York City ever walk through an American supermarket without feeling the power of your steady brown eyes, balancing every crop and planted field in America against the remaining hours of day? Your back, your neck, your feet, your shoulders, and especially your hands. Whole families of hands, tired, cut, bruised, bug bit, hard with work, unwitnessed, underpaid, ripped off, and oh yes, ready to take, being kicked out of this country because you come back.
No.
You come back, don't you? You always come back. You burn through mist like border sun, which migrates through every supermarket in America.
Yeah.
Second fiddle, this goes out to the ordinary guys. The windshield Johnnies, the assembly line Janes, the commuters on the commuter trains, the dead leaf warriors, the snow shovel Joes, the guy with his fist in the bottom of a sink, the gal stuck fingernail deep in the deck of a chicken. The stay-at-homes, the pick-me-ups, the second fiddles, the also wrens, the pocket menders, the button-down Joes, the ones with a paintbrush in hand and spackle in both of their eyes. The ones who've never seen the inside of a racetrack or spilled a cup of beer at their best friend's wedding. The ones who never quit when the broom handle snapped, when the ice melt didn't melt, when the woman or the man that they married for love turned out to be a little different from what they thought they signed up for. This goes out to the gal who doesn't complain, the guy who doesn't drop out, the crazy asshole who doesn't run away, whose lives are not quite dramatic and not quite desperate and not quite obscene. Their stories don't get told in a romance novel or a comic book or even in a poem. They drink till midnight and they get up anyway and they make their payments and they get on to the next thing. They drag the garbage to the curb on time. They drag their kids to school on time. They shut their mouths when the kids go away. The ones whose idea of a good time is to be left alone. The ones who play catch-up or make ends meet or how do we keep this fucking thing afloat. The wrench mouth lady, the shift change dude, the hubcap mender, the plunger of the John whose 9 to 5 begins at 5 and ends at 9, the punch clock Judy, the T-shirt stew, whose lives keep spinning, whose bathtubs don't drain, whose opinions don't matter, whose towns don't count, whose figures don't figure in any man or woman's fantasies, whose dreams do not die, they just fade away. The ones who don't quite get there and it doesn't quite kill them or make them decide to burn this motherfucker down, even though sometimes it's pretty clear to everyone around here that this motherfucker deserves to be doused with a tank of gasoline and sent out on a blind date with a blowtorch.
Trying to make me a fan, or was I already?
Someone's riding with Boom Boom. Who's got the motorcycle? Douglas? The facts are simple, they speak for themselves, but the facts do not always tell the whole story. Boom Boom was a blues man. Boom Boom played the blues. Boom Boom was 60 years old. He lived alone in a split-level shack in Kings Park, Long Island, New York, about 10 miles, maybe 15 miles from where Al Lord Along's home was in Huntington. With a ramp in the front of it on account of his bad back. He had this bad back, and a maple tree in the yard which his kids used to swing on when they were little.
Yeah.
He liked choppers. He liked his jack. He liked his bass guitar. He liked his kids and his friends and a woman or two. And he liked putting on his riding gear and going out into the Long Island Expressway night to ride, baby, ride. And the cops say they did not target Boom. The cops say they did not track Boom Boom down. The cops say they were just protecting the public when they came to Boom Boom's house to haul him in after somebody phoned and said that he was behaving irrational.
No.
Irrational. Irrational to be the person they do not want you to be. Irrational to refuse to swallow the 9 to 5 routine. Irrational to fight the leather belt when they strap you down with the psych doctors come around to pick you apart. Irrational to cut loose, to escape, to be passionate, to ride out free when the blues and the booze and the passing lane just are not enough anymore and you have to get away from the pain of living in this fucked up, rational world.
Whoa.
Facts are simple. They speak for themselves, but facts are never enough. They just do their job. Like cops do their job, like doctors do their job, and liquor and motorcycles and blues do their job. Boom Boom was 60 years old. He played the bass guitar. Everybody said it was tons of fun on stage, but sometimes the bass guitar is not enough to make the blues go away.
Yeah.
They took him in. There was a struggle, so the cops say. He hit his head on something, so the cops say. But what he hit his head on, the cops are not saying, or how a 60-year-old man with a bad back can even put up that kind of a fight, or even try to run away from cops like that. His name, Boom Boom's name, was Ports, Larry Ports. It's a good name, it's a simple name, speaks for itself, but names are just facts. All they do is their job. Names are not enough to cure what ails you in a fucked up, rational world. And that's why his friends called him Boom Boom. That's how he rode. That's how he really was. Last week, the cops say someone named Larry Ports died. Well, that ain't Boom Boom. Boom Boom ain't dead. The cops cannot kill Boom Boom. All over America tonight, all over the world, men will be riding motorcycles. Women will be getting tattoos. Kids will be drinking Jack. And bluesmen will be playing the blues. And I do not know where you'll be in an hour from now. But as for me, I'll be riding with Boom Boom, getting irrational.
Yeah!
Where's our
Old guy from New York, rock and roll.
It's Kansas, California. Maybe it's Colorado. This redhead of my, thank you for your attention. This redhead of my sudden acquaintance. Well, what I mean to say, the road was straighter than this, and I was driving unreasonably fast. It was a 57 Chrysler Imperial. You remember those? But oh man, it was cherry red. It was souped up electric windows, electric top, chrome grille, big damn fins, but no brakes, no brakes. You would have to scuffle your feet along underneath, take you 3 miles to roll if you really want to stop it. There was rocks flying everywhere. You might need a new pair of shoes. Anyhow, I couldn't afford tires, as my situation, concisely speaking, was dire, if not to say extreme. But being that it was, I could of course have gone around the corner, that is to say, stolen some secondhand. But at the time I was with this redhead of my sudden acquaintance. Well positioned in town, she with a well-oiled boyfriend and me with plenty of time on my hands. But no, it was not until on that particular morning, in fact, she had been sitting in the booth of a diner a very long time. By the appearance of things, there was coffee cups, ashtray full of nervous cigarettes. She was putting her hairpins out of her hair. Well, I struck up a conversation. Got to be this, got to be that. Everything was going along pretty damn fine. And when I looked outside, as sure as we're sitting here today, it had stopped raining. Morning was nearly over. The cat was out of the bag, so zippity-doo, we was off, both of us, shot out of the barrel, and that was that. No doubt we was traveling 10 times fast, no sleep. I'm talking 35 plus 35 plus 35, and then so was yes, man, I mean, no, that road outside of Fort Collins. I prefer this late stage to say it was one of them backies headed for her hometown in Kansas. She was a school teacher of good repute, you might say. Not a cop car to be seen. The breeze was everything. Eastern Colorado was a sight to see. She was smart with that orange sky. No, not like the red in her hair. It was coppery sort of red, like the Lincoln's pipe on a new shiny penny. And she gave me the prettiest smile just then. The prettiest smile just then. Boy, you could just feel it. That car wanted to fly. We rolled down the windows. We beat to the beat on the dash. Oh my, she said. Oh my right toenail. I do believe it has just had an emotion. Thank you very much.